This is the future.
Breaking news guys, Warframe will be more broken in the future. Well, that's nothing new. I don't know if you will get excited about this, but Digital Extremes announced new information about their melee and gun fix, along with very exciting news. I saw the announcement on Reddit, and it goes like this. Hi Tenno. We are working away on the final touches for the dev workshop that outlines all things melee, primary, and secondary. We're just doing some reviews, tests before we put everything in place to share with you, in written and video form. We originally were posted today, June 16th, but we're just awaiting some final data, tests before we start sharing. There is a thorough data pass being done, and it took a bit longer than we anticipated. And speaking of longer than we anticipated, there's more to this workshop than you'd expect. We're also detailing out a rework of Parazon kills, and Helminth system expansion. Lots to cover, and you can read or watch it all on Friday, June 18th. Sorry for the delay. To give you the best information possible, we just need those 2 additional days. There are 2 takeaways here: the possible Parazon kill rework, and the expansion of the Helminth system. The delay is nothing new, as we all know Digital Extremes do that all the time. I'm just kidding. 2 months ago, there was a Reddit post detailing a proposed rework on the Parazon kill system. It was intended to raise the effectiveness of this feature by making the Mercy state available when enemies are at 25% health. Honestly, the 5% health threshold makes the Mercy kill unusable. This is just based on my experience, but you really can't utilize Mercy kills when the threshold is at 5% because enemies die fast in normal star chart missions, while it's annoying to wait for the 5% threshold in Steel Path and higher level missions. 25% is a saner threshold in my opinion, as I got experience with this kind of mechanic using Garuda's first ability with the Dreadward Augment. Also, the proposed changes by the author named Pycore Shield include expansion on incentives per Parazon kill. We are talking about more mods that will compensate each Parazon kills, and not just ordinary mods, but Parazon mods that are worth it, like 50% casting speed for 15 seconds, proc status on all enemies within a radius, additional headshot damage, reload speed increase and maximum ammunition pool for a couple of seconds, 15% casting efficiency. The next ability use is energy free, 1000 plus companion damage, restore 150% shields, 400% health in 15 seconds, and any possible Parazon mods that would make players use it. Because honestly, why would you even perform a Parazon kill if it doesn't add anything other than a fancy animation, which by the way, affects your kill speed in missions like survival runs? While I'm not a big fan of the ballistic mods that are coming, I'm happy that they have somehow listened to the community and use Parazon as a key component for the guns and melee fix. We don't know yet how good it is, but it really looks promising, especially knowing the fact that Rebecca saw the post of Pycore Shield on Reddit, and they might take his or her ideas and put it in the game. Fingers crossed though. The other thing is the Helminth expansion, which I'm pretty excited about. I know some of you don't like the system because you are not a fan of Warframes losing their identity, or you have your reason, but, admit it or not, this system somehow works in favor of Digital Extremes in keeping most of their players interested in the game. We all know that Warframe is a power fantasy game, and with the Helminth system, players can manipulate their Warframes and create insane combos that you can use to murder enemies in every mission. It even makes your life easier in terms of farming stuff, and it even creates combos that usually are unthinkable. And sometimes, it completes a Warframe and makes it viable in almost every mission in the game. And I'm very excited that Digital Extremes will be expanding the Helminth system. But the question is, how and what will be the expansion? There are many possibilities, and I will lay down some of them based on facts and previous events that are happening in the game. First, they could just be increasing the rank and adding new Helminth abilities in the system. There are only a couple of Helminth abilities that are good to use. There's the Marked for Death, Empower, and maybe Rebuild Shields for some. Others have their uses, but admit it or not, they are not as good as the subsume abilities of Warframes. They could be expanding and giving new Helminth abilities, or even better, they could be adding abilities that will make gun damage better. That is the very simple feature that I can think of with the Helminth expansion. However, it could be possible that they will make good use of the Helminth system to fix the melee and gun problem. I think they will do more than just adding new Helminth abilities to the system. I'm thinking that they could possibly make the Helminth system useful in buffing the guns in Warframe. Don't be surprised if Digital Extremes will end up adding a feature in the Helminth system which will allow you to increase the damage, fire rate, or any stats needed for a given weapon. Also, don't get surprised if they decided to add a Helminth ability which allows guns to have an area of effect damage. In addition, it could be possible that they will allow us to subsume weapons into the Helminth system and give us new abilities which we can add to other weapons. I'm not talking about valence fusion kind of mechanic, by the way. I'm talking about those weapons that have weapons like the Jaw Sword which has an augment with bonus damage. If somehow, Digital Extremes decided to add a feature wherein we can subsume any weapons, melee, or guns into the Helminth system and get their respective augments, then this could add variety and power to all weapons in the game. However, I'm not sure if this will work though, as it will just create more meta builds for already powerful melee weapons. The Helminth expansion may mean that they will expand the capability of the feature to cater subsuming weapons into the system and making it great without them fixing each weapon in the game. It's like the same move they have made years ago when they released the Helminth system. Many cried for their favorite Warframe to be Rework, but instead, Digital Extremes gave us the power to rework our Warframe. It makes sense that they will do the same thing with the weapon issue in the game, and this fix, along with new mods to increase gun damage, will be easier compared to reworking the weapon system, or scanning and changing the stats of each weapon in the game. If there's anything I wouldn't want with the Helminth expansion, is Digital Extremes letting us subsume two abilities of a Warframe. That will be a disaster, and I don't like that kind of expansion since it will dilute the uniqueness of a Warframe. One subsume ability already made a dent in each Warframe, but admittedly, that dent is kind of fun to play with. But having two subsumable abilities will be absolute chaos. It would create more combos and synergy, but man, it would be disappointing to see Meta Warframe being the only Warframes played because you can complete them with the help of the Helminth system. More of this news will come later as Digital Extremes reveal the dev workshop on how this new Parazon kill in Helminth expansion, along with the melee and gun fix, will be in its final form. Let me know in the comments section what are your thoughts about the Helminth expansion and the Parazon kill rework. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video if you find it informative. Thank you so much for watching. Squad Leader signing off.
Evolution. This is the future.